I snuck my phone. I took the tape off. We're not supposed to have our phone. Not at all. Put your phone away. All right, we're getting the dress. We'll show up body, babe. Cece.
I always assumed that the Met Gala was a secret society that was exclusive to high-profile individuals. So I was shocked to learn about the video clips and photos released to the public from last year's Met Gala. I was under the impression people would spend hours in hair and makeup, putting their outfit on, and then only show up to the event for the red carpet and then go home. The biggest year in fashion and what occurs beyond the red carpet is hidden from the public. This secret world keeps us on the edge of our seat and makes us continue to watch and anticipate the luxurious, glamorous world as we know it, or in this case, don't know. However, there is much more to this event than the fashion exhibition. There's food, concerts, and much more that's yet to be uncovered. If you already know what the Met Gala is and this year's theme, feel free to skip to this timestamp. The Met Gala is an annual fundraiser dedicated to New York City's Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute. The Met also marks the opening night of the annual fashion exhibit. The theme of the exhibition sets the tone for the night, which is why we are blessed with a new theme every year. This year's theme being Superfine Tailoring Black Style, drawing inspiration from Monica L. Miller's 2009 book, Slaves to Fashion, Black Dandyism and the Styling of Black Diasporic Identity. This year's hosts will be Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, A$AP Rocky, Pharrell Williams, and Anna Wintour will co-chair the 2025 Met Gala. If you're interested in attending this event, too bad, too sad. Not just anyone can get invited to this prestigious event. Not unless you're a celebrity, a high-profile individual, or a sponsor for the event, which it's gonna cost you $75,000 for a ticket alone, while the price for a table is $350,000. Given that this is a charity event, the proceeds of the tickets go towards the Met Museum. Most attendees do not purchase their own ticket, but rather big brands will purchase their tickets for them. However, this doesn't even account for your outfit, which, if you have seen the Met Gala, you'll know designer outfits will cost you some coin. Even after all that, you'll need to have Miss Anna Wintour's blessing to get the stamp of approval just to purchase the ticket. Once you secure your ticket, you get to enjoy the dazzling carpet of high-profile figures, 5-star food service, and live music from notable artists. There are a few rules guests must abide by. There's a phone rule that I initially assumed was to help maintain the mystery of the Met, but this rule seems to be specifically no phones once you enter the museum, which is common practice within museums. However, Billie Eilish was allegedly banned from the Met Gala for taking a group selfie in the bathroom. I wonder how consistent these bannings are because we saw Billie again and Doja Cat was allegedly banned for vaping, but she was seen on this year's carpet, so I don't believe you necessarily get banned from the Met Gala unless you've done something illegal or inflicted damage onto the property. If you manage to stay in Anna Wintour's good graces, you're in. Flash a smile, strike a pose in your best dressed outfit, and head inside to the exhibit to see what the museum awaits. This year, the exhibition is organized into 12 sections, each representing a characteristic that defines dandy style: ownership, presence, distinction, disguise, freedom, champion, respectability, heritage, beauty, cool, cosmopolitanism, and juk, as a space for dancing, drinking, and other leisure activities. Superfine will feature garments, paintings, photographs, and more, all exploring the indelible styles of Black dandies from the 18th century to the present day. Afterwards, you can expect to join cocktail hour to hash out the details with other invited guests, followed by dinner where the seating chart is carefully curated. Back in 2021, party planner Edie Kiernan told Vogue that when it comes to deciding where the stars sit, we really try to think very carefully about who's sitting next to each other. Our ideal pairing would maybe be two people who we think will just get on like a house on fire, but who may not even realize that they have a lot in common. So with each person, we really do take time to think, what will they talk about? We try and think a lot about sightlines and where people have sat in the past, and we try to make sure someone isn't staring into the eyes of a former flame. Once you're seated, you can enjoy this year's headliners, Stevie Wonder and Usher. After all the excitement, you could take your wig and makeup off and dive straight into bed after a hard day of slaying the competition. So, the burning question awaits. What exactly happens at the Met Gala? The answer in short is, it's a secret. Unless you're actually attending the Met, you're not allowed to know. But why? Why is it such a big secret? It really comes down to prestige. They gatekeep this information from commoners, so it keeps us asking, oh, what exactly happens at the event? They hide it down to the details. I mean, the minute celebrities are coming out of their hotels on the way to the event, they're already concealing their outfits with 100 umbrellas. It keeps us at the edge of our seats. But honestly, I don't think there is anything else profound beyond what we've learned in past years from the Met. If you've ever been to a museum, you know it takes a good while to walk around the exhibit and see every piece of art and media. Considering there are around 450 guests that attend the event, I can imagine it takes an even longer time to wade through the crowd to get from one end of the room to another. I wouldn't be surprised if that takes up the majority of the time before you're tired and want to go home because the soles of your feet are disintegrating. I don't doubt that there is a lot more that occurs at the event than what I've discussed. I mean, have you seen those prices? I think there's value in showing what occurs at a prestigious event. But to an extent, I understand that it can also take away the mystique and allure that has been built up over the years that contributes to the most highly anticipated fashion event of the year. There's no doubt that over the years there will be more uncovered, but for now we'll have to accept the crumbs of information that they give us. When I first learned about the theme for the Met Gala 2025 exhibition, I was a little uncertain because menswear tends to be underwhelming on the carpet. Many think it's just a suit and you're done. So menswear on the red carpet tends to lack excitement because people don't know just how intriguing it can be. I can't lie, I don't gravitate towards menswear as much as women's wear. However, I believe it is capable of being just as innovative and impactful. So I'm really glad to see what we saw at the Met Gala carpet because menswear is just as deserving of attention. When men are excited about fashion, they actually put in effort for their outfit. Here at the Misfit in Threads, we honor misfits for going against the grain and setting trends despite what the norm is. This week, there are a handful of misfits I would like to highlight. I enjoyed too many looks to narrow it down to one person this week, but I really have to give it up for Janelle Monáe and Tiana Taylor. I must give them their flowers because they ate all of y'all up. Go home. They deserve more recognition in the fashion world because their looks never miss. I also really enjoyed the pre-Met Gala looks and after-party Met outfits. I think they're just as eye-catching as what we saw at the event and low-key wish we saw some of these looks on the carpet. However, there are fashion offenders I must apprehend. The plain tuxedo. The Oxford Dictionary defines a tuxedo as a man's dinner jacket. Need I say more? I sent you to Anna Wintour's ban list. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. If you loved it, like and subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you liked. If you hated it, thanks for sticking it out, and see you next time, Misfits.